Hey guys, Sam Pokemon here. Today's video we're talking about all of my 100 IV and 0 IV Pokemon. The best of the best and the worst of the worst. We're going to start with the Hundos though as we go into the collection. And we're going to go, latest first. But we start with 4 stars, obviously. We got 244. We're going to go over all of them. And we start with my first ever Hundo in Pokemon Go. We got Angry Ball. Yeah, so let's just say I'm going to get this right off the bat first. There's some nicknames in here that I thought were funny. If they're not funny, I'm sorry. But we start with Angry Ball here, and it's my first ever Hundo, and I caught it in 2016 in New Jersey. I remember going after this. I think me and my mom caught this, and we were just like, wait, isn't that, like, really good to see all those IVs? Well, at the time, it wasn't IVs just like this. It was like, oh, it's like the best in this. It's the best in that. And I remember just being like, wait a minute. But yeah, this was pretty awesome. It was also like a month after the game came out. So like, pretty early, my first ever Hundo ever, so I was very happy about that. But then we go to my second ever Hundo, and this was when I came up to visit some colleges here around in Pennsylvania, and we caught this in Philly, which is awesome. That's actually where we landed, which is funny, and we got ourselves a Hoppip, which is now a Jumpy. Cool. Again, nicknames, I did it up until a while ago. Some of them I thought were funny, okay? But then our third ever Hundo was this, a banger with a Shundo Scizor. It was a 13-13-14. I purified it into my first ever Shundo, and it's our third ever Hundo. And this was right when I got back into the game. And this is like my fourth ever shiny or fifth ever shiny as well. It was absolutely insane. What a way to come back to the game. And then we got Brother Bear, which at the time, obviously, I didn't even know that Ursaluna was going to be a thing. And I evolved it. I purified it into Hundo because I was like, hey, it's a 13-14-14. I might as well do it, especially at the time. You're going to see a mistake coming up very, very soon. I didn't know how good Shadows were getting back into the game. This is very, very early Tony TM Pokemon days. This is before I even made vlogs for Pokemon Go. And let's just say I made mistakes, okay? But then we move on to Spike Ball here. I like Spike Ball, and I thought it was funny. Look, he's a little Spike Ball, right? Okay. But this was another Hundo that I caught actually only 2 days after that one, which is pretty awesome. And we got ourselves this one right here. I was very happy to go ahead and pick it up. My first ever Hundo Ferroseed. I believe this is from Research? Yeah, from Research. Awesome. Well, move on to the next one, though. We got Aquabird. Not a very good nickname, I'm not going to lie. But Empoleon, another one that is... No, this one's from Wild. Okay, caught this in the Wild. Gotta love it. Another one from... This one from Miami. Gotta love it. Makes sense, right? But then we got Lift. And this is because I purely put this thing in gyms. I gotta max it out. And I evolved it early because now it has a Calm Day coming up. But maybe I'll wait to max it out just to see maybe if Wild Charge... I don't know if Wild Charge is going to be much better on it, but we'll see how Community Day goes. Maybe we get a Shundo, but this one also caught in Miami, which is awesome. Another 100% though, and again, I put this thing in gyms all the time sometimes if I'm feeling a little bit mean. But we move on to Top Lad, which is a Hundo Murkrow, which is now a Honchkrow, and look, he's a Top Lad because he's got a top hat on his head. Yeah, this is going to be a bad joke video, but I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully, you guys still enjoy it. But yeah, we're going over all our Hundos. We do have to power that up. And here is mistake number 1. I still can't believe I did this. I purified this so that I can Mega it. At the time, I didn't know how good, Shadows were. This was actually a 93% Shadow. I believe it was a 13, 14, 15. And I was just like... I'm going to max it out because it has a Mega in the future. I'm going to purify it. Sorry, it has a Mega in the future. Big mistake. I didn't know how good Shadow Shadow Metagross is, and I purified it. I feel like an idiot sometimes when I look at this thing, but hey, you make mistakes at the end of the day, and this is, again, before I knew Shadows were that strong. And, to be honest... I mean, I needed one Hundo for the Mega. I wouldn't do it nowadays, but I do have better ones now, which is nice with the Shadows. But, hey, it is what it is. Move on to Stinky, because it's Stinky. It's another purified Hundo. This one is less of a mistake because what are you going to use Skunk Tank for? I'm going to be honest. But then we move on to Gru. And I love Gru. I love Gru. It's a regional Hundo, my first ever regional Hundo on the list. And this one's awesome because I love minions. So whenever I think of the moon, I think of Gru. We're gonna get the moon, yeah, funny joke. Okay, but yeah, gotta love Gru. Then we got this, another purified Hundo. This one, maybe a little bit of a mistake, but it does have a Mega, which is actually very strong, so I was fine with doing this one. I think this is when I started to learn Shadows were pretty good, but I didn't know Aerodactyl was actually that good, so this might be before still that I was knowledgeable on Shadows. But we move on to Rayquaza. Yes, I don't know how many hundos are we in so far. I mean, that is 13th ever hundo. Hundo Rayquaza, which you love to see. This thing is just absolutely amazing. I love Rayquaza as a Pokemon. This is still my only hundo, and I maxed this thing out. This thing is awesome. Gotta love it. Wonder when we'll get the Shadow one day, too, which is pretty cool. But gotta love it. This is from March 2021. I did so many raids. I think I did like 80 raids that weekend. Got 2 shinies, got a hundo, got a couple 98s, and I did get a shiny 96. But let's move a little bit quicker probably through here. And this was one that I was so happy to get. A hundo Ghastly, which I evolved into Gengar. And funny enough, this was a house spawn. Yes, this was a house spawn. I was so happy about it. Both me and my fiance got it. We screamed. I was so happy, but we gotta love it. Move on to the next one. We got Barnacle Boy. This was when Binacle debuted in raids, and I got to my 3rd ever raid. I was just doing raids to go ahead and get candies. I was silver pineapping, and we got this. We got Barnacle Boy, which you love to see. But then we move on to Great League Azumarill. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I use it sometimes in Great League. It's cool. It's a hundo. Gotta love it. Hundo, I think this was from Research Day. Yeah, Marill Research Day. And funny enough, this Research Day, the hundo CP was the same as the 98 CP. So you could have just gotten done completely dirty. But then we move on. We got ourselves a Mega Lopunny here. Stubborn powered it up for whatever reason. It was a Baneri, which we evolved into Lopunny. But yeah, hundo Baneri, now a Lopunny. Next one is Arby, Darmaldo. Horrible nickname, I can't lie, but hey, it is what it is. We caught this as well, day after my birthday as well. Wow, so we got a hundo the day before my birthday, I just realized, and the day after my birthday. But we couldn't get a hundo on my birthday. This one's also purified, I forgot to mention. But then we got ourselves this for Community Day. We got ourselves a hundo Swablu from Research, which you love to see. It's now in Altaria. And I also used this thing in Great League for a little bit. Next one, Lost One. This was my first ever hatched hundo, I believe. And this one was Lost One because Marowak and Cubone. Yeah, sorry. We move on. We got this as a hatch, and hey, it was a pretty good week on hundos, I can't lie. We got ourselves, yeah, look at this. We got ourselves the Azumarill, which was on the Research Day. Boom, Baneri in the wild. Boom, then we purified a hundo, and then this, all within a week. That's awesome. That's a great run, and this one as well, all within a week. Then we got this, which was pretty awesome, and this was also a hatched hundo, which you love to see, from a 12k egg. Instantly maxed this thing out when I had the opportunity, but I did hold it because I did, at this point, know that in the future, it could get an exclusive move, so I was very happy to hold on to it, and we went ahead and maxed it out when the Community Day rolled around. But then we got this, a hundo ready for Mega. Got a Manectric. Gotta love it. And then we got this, Starfire. I mean, it's cool. It's a Staraptor. Purified hundo. Now at this point, I know that Shadow Staraptor is actually kind of strong, but hey, at the end of the day, it's a Starfire hundo, right? Boom! Then we got ourselves another hundo legendary, and this one is Regigigas. And I absolutely love getting hundo legendaries, and Regigigas, it's just an iconic Pokemon, so I'm happy to go ahead and pick up that hundo. I know it's not that strong, and I still don't have the XLs to max it out. I'm close to being able to max it out. Technically, it could be like one of my top Pokemon, if not my top CP Pokemon, but I usually like to do it in one go. So I guess when it comes back to raids, I gotta do more raids. But then we got Posty for Post Malone, I don't know, but we got ourselves our first ever Galarian Zigzagoon hundo, and this one actually really likes me, this hundo, and on top of that, I did so many raids to get the shiny. I think I remember getting 2 hundos from its debut raids before I even got the shiny, and I think the shiny didn't come for like a couple months after. Then we got ourselves King Doof. This was on Bidoof Day. There was a whole event around Bidoof. It was on July 1st. It was absolutely amazing. It was such a fun event, just memes everywhere, and we got one from Research, which was awesome, a King Doof. Maybe I should max this thing out, but yeah, King. Then we hatched this, a Bonsly. Gotta love it. Hey, I'm never going to complain with the hundo Bonsly. And yeah, we got this in July 2021. And then this, is that the day after? We caught this from a remote raid. I did so many raids for Dialga, and we got the hundo. And this was at the point where I play PvP still a little bit now, but this was when I was like really into PvP, and Dialga in PvP, if you didn't know, is a tank, and I use this thing still all the time. Still a tank, best buddied. It's amazing. Love Dialga. Hopefully I can get the origin form hundo, please. But then we move on to Chimes, which is my first ever research breakthrough hundo. And then I got another one, Chimes 2. Yeah, I got 2 back-to-back weeks, as you can see, exactly a week apart. They were in Research Breakthrough for whatever reason in August 2021, and I got back-to-back ones. Like, come on. Why you gotta do this to me? But then we moved on. We got Pimped Up in Halloween. It was a big gap in there between hundos, unfortunately. But we got a Piplup that was pimped up. And we got this on a dog walk. Absolutely amazing. Then we got ourselves a Hundo Darkrai, which you guys know, that's my favorite Pokemon. That's absolutely my favorite Pokemon. And to get a Hundo Darkrai, I was so happy. But it didn't stop there, because this Halloween was full of Hundos in 2021. We got ourselves the Mask, 100. Then we got ourselves the Mask, 100 IVs, obviously. And this one is a Galarian Mask. But then we got ourselves Murky. Did I hatch this one? I don't even know where I got this. No, field research. Murky. Boom. And this was the year of the Hundos because, boom, another Darkrai. I knew that one was coming up. I thought, honestly, it was a Darkrai, Yamask Darkrai. But we got a second Darkrai, which you love to see. 2 Hundos. And actually, when the first time Darkrai came back since I started playing the game again, I got 2 Hundos and 2 Shinies out of like 100 raids. But it doesn't matter. I got a bunch of Shinies now. But we move on. We got ourselves Free Willy. We freed the Willy. We got ourselves a Wailmer. You know, you gotta love Wailmer. I mean, hey, I like Wailmer. It's a memeable Pokemon. Took me forever to get the Shiny. I got the Hundo before the Shiny, but gotta love it. Move on to Cactus Jack Jr., which is a purified Hundo. I mean, Shadow Cacturne isn't too strong. To be honest, I was fine with purifying it. Then we got ourselves Sparky, our second Hundo Manectric. Yes, I don't know why I evolved both of them. One of them should have stayed Electric, but whatever, I guess. It is what it is. Move on to Bib, because it has a bib, you know? Yeah, we move on. Hundo, hatched. Then we got Cool Guy. This is way before the community day. This was when Ed Sheeran had a little bit of an event. And this is actually, funny enough, when I started vlogs for Pokemon Go. It was around Thanksgiving 2021. That's when I started making vlogs for Pokemon Go. I'll never forget it, because my first video got like 5 views and I was hyped. I was like, yes, people are watching my videos. And I really, really appreciate you guys. I'm so proud of like all the progress we made, and you guys have made it just so much fun to make videos. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I'm glad you guys have joined me on this journey. Look at this cool guy. Look, he's pretty cool. He's level 50 now as well. Then we move on to Reshiram, which is, funny enough, I got 2 of them. Yes, 2 of them. Not even, I was going to say 3 days apart. I thought it was 3 days apart. It's a day apart. Back-to-back days. Absolutely crazy. One of them is level 50. One of them is level 40. But absolutely crazy. We got 2 of them. One is from a remote raid. One was remote raid, but here I remote raided into it. Yeah, we won't talk about that. That was when remote raids were a little bit cheaper. But 2 Hundo Reshirams, absolutely love it. A great Pokemon. And honestly, I should have done more raids because I didn't realize how close I was to being able to max one. Should have done more raids. But we move on. We got ourselves a level 1 Hundo. Gotta love it with the costume field. This was the year that it debuted, and I was so happy to go ahead and get this. I was quick catching a lot, and boom, we got a level 1 Hundo. And then we got Dress Up, the 100% IV Glaceon with the costume. I got this in 2021. I was very happy. I think that was the year it debuted as well. Very, very happy to go ahead and pick it up. And then we got this, a Galarian Darumaka. And you guys know now that this thing really, really likes me. But look when I hatched this one on Christmas. It was a perfect Christmas gift. I think that year I also got a Delibird shiny on Christmas, which was awesome. But the perfect Christmas gift, a Hundo Galarian Darumaka, which is now a Darmanitan. And then we move on to the little one. Right, the little one. Right after Christmas, we hatched this. We got ourselves a Hundo Smoochum, which you love to see. And it's a little one, right? But then we got Maru. I still don't know why I called it that. Like, that's a horrible nickname. Whatever. We move on. We got this. This was my first Hundo of 2022, and it was a Slugma House Spawn. Love it. Then we move on to Drago, which was from a raid. I'm pretty sure because that's the only way you could get Druddigon. But you love Druddigon. It's a great shiny, and I was happy to go ahead and get the Hundo because I actually really like it as a Pokemon. Still don't know why it's not a rock type, though. Move on. We got Easter. This one was before Easter, but we did get a Hundo Bunnelby. I don't know, we're cool. We take it. Move on to I'm a Star. And I told you guys, Obstagoon, aka Galarian Zigzagoon line, loves me. And we caught one randomly. We'll take it. We never complain. I think that one's from research. And then this happened right before Johto Tour. We got a Schlundo. A Schlundo from a trade with my mom. And funny enough, I mean, it was a little bit of an unfair trade, but Shvio at the time was really good in PvP, so I didn't mind it. But she got a Dialga, and she got a shiny 98 Lucky Dialga, and I got a Schlundo. I've never seen people get Schlundos. Well, not never. I've seen a couple, but it's very rare for both people to get Schlundos, but both people to get huge Ws is pretty rare, and I was very happy to go ahead and pick this one up. But then we move on to Yoda. Hatched Hundo. It's Yoda. I don't know. It's baby Pokemon. Move on to Young Pika, because it's a Young Pika. first ever hatched a Hundo Pichu, which is pretty awesome. Hatched that the same day. I think this was at Johto Tour. Yeah, we got ourselves a few Hundo hatches at Johto Tour. 2 babies, 1 and 2. Gotta love it. Then we got ourselves Simba. I mean, Leo, it makes sense to call it Simba, right? Then we got Batty, which is a purified Hundo Golbat. Cool. I think it was a Zubat too. But then we got Rocky, which is awesome. I love Rockruff. It took me forever to get the shiny, but via remote raid, I got this Hundo and I evolved it into my favorite Rockruff form, which is this one. But then we got ourselves Seedy. Not too long after that, was quick catching. Caught this randomly. Gotta love it. Move on to Punchy. Purified. Hundo. Hitmonchan. It's punchy. It's got gloves. I don't know, okay? I told you, bad names. Then we got Doggo 2.0. Another Doggo, and the reason why I called it 2.0 is because we got the Rockruff in the, like, I think it was like the same couple weeks, and I was just like, it's Doggo 2.0, and yeah, we got a Hundo. Then we move on to Doggo, which is another Doggo. You love it. It's a Rockruff. I have 200 Rockruffs. I would love to get a third one, especially one in the dust form, but hey, it is what it is. Move on to Swampert, one of my favorite Pokemon. This was actually a level 1 Hundo. I love Swampert. I love Mudkip. It's my favorite starter of all time, so I was very, very happy to get this, and I instantly maxed it out on the recap Calm Day. But then we got Minty. A random Hundo Mantine. I was quick catching, randomly caught it. Actually, I think this was from research. Yeah, this one's from research, sorry. But randomly caught it. Cool. Move on to Drago Tree. It's Drago Tree. That's all I could say about it. But it's a Hundo. Cool. Love it. Quick catching. W. Then we got ourselves Eggy here. Another Hundo Chansey. Funny enough, I actually can evolve this one for Calm Day. Hey, so I have a Hundo that I can evolve for Calm Day. Cool. I think that one's from research as well. But then we got ourselves a Beware here, which we instantly maxed out. And we actually got 2 Hundos on that community day. And the second one is very memorable because my fiance got a Shundo Stuffle from this one, which was absolutely amazing. So shout out to her. Very, very jealous. But then we move on to Pinchy. He's a Pinchy guy, you know. He's Drapion. Hundo. Purified. Move on. Next one. Latios. Love it. This one, I hate Latios. Only because it took me 138 raids to get my first ever shiny. But I did get this Hundo in the process, so I guess it wasn't all wasteful. But it felt very, very wasteful. This was when the Mega also got released, so I was very happy to get it. But then we got Froggo Hundo. Gotta love a Froggo Hundo. It was a Temple. We evolved it all the way. Next one, Rocky. Kind of iconic because our first ever Hundo was Golem, but yeah, it was on Calm Day. Move on. We got Midnight Run. This one is a midnight run because we literally ran at midnight. It was 12:20 in the morning, and somebody called a Hundo 2 blocks down the road. I'm like, I am running for that. I am not standing still and just letting that pass me by. I am running for that. So I ran for it, sorry. And caught it for both me and my fiance. But then we move on. We got Quickie, level 1. I called it Quickie because I quick caught it at some point, and we evolved it into a Alolan Marowak because that event we were allowed to evolve Cubone into a Alolan Marowak, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it was a Cubone at first. But then we got ourselves Potty. I mean, look, it's Potty the pirate, right, from SpongeBob. That's what made me think about this, or Potty the bird from SpongeBob. That's why I called it that. Move on to Crush. I mean, come on. Nemo. It makes sense. It just makes sense to call it Crush, okay? Next one, Yoshi. And again, it makes sense, right? And you guys can see, this event started really good for me with Hundos. We got ourselves all of these hatched, which was pretty awesome. And then we got this from the research day not too long. We got Don, Bastiodon, coming for your money. And yeah, we got ourselves a Bastion Hundo. I might use this in PvP. I don't know. I think my other one is much better, though. But then we got Ratatouille. It's a purifiable Hundo, but it's still a Hundo, you know what I mean? It's a Rattata, you know? But then we move on. We got Random Trade 4-star, and this is a random trade with my brother Thomas. We just randomly traded it, and boom, it turned out to be a Hundo. And funny enough, he actually had a random trade with me that turned out to be a Hundo Mewtwo, which to this day I'm still very, very jealous of. But let's keep going. We got a Hundo Mewtwo not long after that. It's kind of funny how I told that story and then that just happened right after. That's awesome. We absolutely love to see that. And of course, best buddied. And right now, it's actually my highest CP Pokemon. But like I showed you guys, Regigigas future could be. But then we move on to Trump. It looks like Trump. That's the only reason why I called it like that. But then we move on to Cactus Jack 4-star. And it's another Purifiable Hundo Cacnea. And I'll be honest, that's why I purified the other one. Because I'm like, I could get both now. And then I purified both of them. 2 Hundos. Move on. Mega Spoon. Look, he's got spoons. He's a mega Pokemon. Makes sense. Alakazam. Love it. I should probably power that up. But yeah. Then we got Tony Hawk. Really just because of the red striped hair kind of thing. I don't know. It looks like he could totally ride skateboards, you know? Rad, dude. We move on. Got ourselves Ruffles. Also cool. You take a hundo. A hundo rufflet. Random, but yeah, we take it. Then we got Raphael. This is specifically from the Rio movie. That's why I called it Raphael. It makes sense. Too canon. And maybe I should have waited because this could get a calm day, but I don't know if it's going to be too good anyways. But then we move on to 420 Blaze. This was caught in Seattle. And so was this, actually. I just realized, the Pick-a-Peck. Was it from research? Oh, no, I hatched this. Okay, I didn't even know that. Yeah, hatched this. And then we caught this from research in Seattle while we were playing the event for GoFest, in-person GoFest in Seattle, but I actually didn't get a hundo that day, but I got one from research right after the day. And then we got this from the raid day later that month, and it was pretty awesome to go ahead and get Megamind. Then we got Nala, which I believe, unless I'm mistaken, is Lion King reference yet again. Cool. Then we got High Darkness, because, I mean, he's a dark type, and we got another one. This was on Community Day. And I think I called it High Darkness, I just remembered, because the hundo ran away from Thomas, from my brother. Still pain for him. Sorry. But then we got Yas Queen. Because Yas Queen. It's a Needle Queen. Hundo. Cool. And then we got Dapper. Because he's Dapper. Look at him. He looks so good. I mean, this costume is so good. One of the best Worlds costumes we've ever had. Then we got It's a Rock. SpongeBob reference. If you guys know. It's not just a boulder. It's a rock. Then we move on to Blasting Off because it's blasting off. And this was actually caught on the Daily Incense. I vividly remember this. I was very happy about it. Another regional hundo. Then we move on to Kale. It's grass type. That's my only reason. Spinny. It spins. That's my only reason. UFO. It's an alien. That's my only reason. Sci-fi. It's an alien. It's my only reason. UFO Junior. It's an alien. Yeah, we got ourselves 3 hundo Elgyms from research. It was absolutely crazy. I couldn't stop finding them. 593 was that CP. And funny enough, we get another one later on. You'll see it. Then we got Little Cup Small. Because this Bronzor sometimes beats up in Little Cup. Imagine if this was a Shundo. It's a boosted shiny, but it is what it is. Then we got Rudolph. Do I really have to explain with the Stantler? Then we got underrated 4-star, because Toxapex is an underrated Pokemon. I think it's pretty cool, honestly. It's also scary. Move on. We got Toxic Much. I got another one. On his debut event, I got 2 hundos. I think they were both from research. Yeah, both from research. This was during Fashion Week. Gotta love it. I actually don't think that was during the debut event. Later on, but I did get 2 of them. Then we move on to I don't know 100%. Still haven't evolved this one. I don't know what I'm going to evolve it to. Hey, we'll ask that for the question of the day. What should I evolve this EV into? Let me know in the comments. But then we got ourselves the Mask, 2, because we got another Mask, 4-star. And then we got ourselves Jim Carrey. The Mask reference yet again. And we had a quick break because my SD card filled up, but honestly, I'm going to speed it up because I didn't realize how long we were talking. But let's go on to the Mummy, the Mask, and look how many Yamask I got hundo in that event. We got 4 of them. 2 of the normal one, 2 of the Galarian one. It was absolutely crazy. We also hatched a Hundo Shieldon from an Adventure Sync 5k egg. Then we got ourselves a Dragonite. I believe this was, yeah, just caught in the wild. Oh, classic Community Day, that's right. I did get 2 more. You'll see them later on. But we move on to Kira. It's my dog. Sometimes she barks, so I made it this dog. But then we move on to Scrambled Eggs. Gotta love it. That was on the research day. We got these. You guys know why I called it that. We got Will. I don't even know why I called it Will. I actually don't know why I called it Will. Move on from it, though. We got Lil Chill, and then we got Big Chill, a.k.a. Hundo Snorlax. It's now level 50. When you eventually get G-Max, that's the one I'm going to use. Then we got My Precious, because it's my precious, you know. But then we got ourselves Leak Duck. Shout out to Leak Duck, always with the news. Got ourselves a Wintachu, because it's awesome. I love Wintachu. It's a really cool costume. Didn't come back this year, unfortunately. I feel like that one's much better than the one that came back this year. But we also hatched this randomly during the event. We hatched this, which was a Hundo Tyranitar. If you're wondering why I don't have it Megad, my other Hundo is Megad. I believe, yeah, this one right here. Other Hundo is Megad. Perfect representation. This is during Classic Community Day. And funny enough, that's right actually before Classic Community Day was announced. So absolutely crazy. Also got a Nomura and a custom Cubchoo from research. Got ourselves a Vanillite, which was awesome. Evolved it all the way. A Squirtle was my first hundo of 2023. And it was one with the party hat, which you love to see. Also got ourselves a Alola Meowth, another Pick-a-Peck, which actually I did save. That's why it's evolved the other one, because I have this one ready for Calm Day. Then we got ourselves a Dragonair and a Dratini during a Dragon type event to start 2023. 2023 was popping off with the Hundos that event because we also got a Morel yet again in that event. Then we got ourselves a Tyranitar, and then a Hoppip randomly, thanks to quick catching. Noibat on Community Day, a Luvdisc on Research Day, Totodile right before we headed out to Hoenn Tour, which was awesome. And then Vegas provided with a couple Hundos, including this, which was awesome, a Costume Hundo Pikachu. Also got a Hundo Groudon, and hatched a couple Hundos on the day. We got a Gulpin, which is a Swalot now. Got a Lotad, which was actually caught at the event. Someone called it out. A Torchic, which was hatched. And I was waiting to be able to evolve it with a Community Day move. Don't know why I waited. Could have evolved it then. Tony. Then we also got ourselves another Gulpin. I don't know why the Hundo Gulpin's been loving me during that event, but hey, it is what it is. We also got a Sableye Hundo from Research. This is the one that I thought I megaed. No, I megaed the Shiny 98, that's why. But we got ourselves a Hitmonlee on Hitmonday, and then we got this from a lucky trade, a Shundo Bacon Bird. Duh. Bacon Bird. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Now you guys have seen all my Shundos. Then we move on to an Abra, which we purified because I got the whole Abra family. I'll show you guys the other one later, I think it's later. Then we got ourselves a Gramble, got ourselves a Castform, Sunny Castform from Research, Xatu, which we I almost said primaled, purified. Then we got ourselves a Diglett, which we evolved. Gotta love Diglett. Got ourselves a Munchlax yet again. Had Penny, Eevee. This is during the, what event was that? Easter. There we go. Absolutely was popping off with the Hundos on Easter. As you can see, another Hundo Pichu, which is awesome. Gotta love it. Got Mamoswine Hundo on his Community Day recap. Got another Wailmer Hundo, a Pidove, which we evolved. A Girafarig, which we purified. A Pidove, which we purified. And this one you guys are probably going to say is a mistake. I know. But I went 0 for 83 on the Shadow Shiny. I needed something for the weekend. I was depressed. But we move on. We got Houndoom. We hatched our first ever Hundo Wimpod. Got a Clauncher Hundo, which is pretty cool. That was on the last day of the event. We got a Spinarak randomly, which I had like 10 98 Spinaraks I got before I got that Hundo. And then got this, which was pretty awesome. On the anniversary event, we were able to get this on the first day. Was quick catching all of them. Was able to catch that. Was super, super happy about that. Imagine if it was just Shundo. But we also got ourselves a Squirtle Hundo on its recap com day with that one. Then we got ourselves a Ponyta and another Ponyta. These were caught on the same day. Look at that. Absolutely crazy. Both Ponytas, Galarian and non-Galarian. And on 7-Eleven day, we also got ourselves a Slurpee. Maybe the Slurpee helped our luck. I don't know. But we also got this, a level 50, 100% IV now, which is Adri, named after my fiance. Her favorite Pokemon, well, her second favorite Pokemon is Rowlet. Had to do it. I'm sorry. But then we got ourselves another Scrambled Eggs, and a Mora, a Tyrant, which I was so happy to get. Was pretty happy about that. Was pretty stoked. And this Petalil is pretty cool. But look at this. We got a tiny Hundo Jigglypuff, which was pretty awesome thanks to quick catching. I always catch my tiny and huge Hundos, and this was one of them. Then we got ourselves this Hundo right here, which we evolved. Well, not really evolved. We caught in New York. It was my only Hundo in New York, which was crazy. It was the only one I caught all weekend during GoFest in person. And this one was called out by my friend Charlie. I was quick catching all the Lucarios, but we had found out later on that we had a Hundo Lucario in our storage. Then we got ourselves the Revenge Hundo. We lost a Hundo. I forgot to mention it. During Hoenn Tour, we lost a Hundo Groudon. Very painful, but we got another one. We got Revenge, right? That's why it's called Revenge. Got ourselves Bonsly, a Helioptile. This was actually caught in the last minute of GoFest Global. We all checked it for a Shundo. Also hatched a Bonsly. This was during GoFest. That was so random. Then we got ourselves a Hundo Charizard on Recap Com Day, a Meowscarada, a Lechonk, another Sprigatito. I was trying for Fuecoco. Didn't happen. It is what it is. Then we got ourselves a Remoraid, hatched ourselves a Wimpod, by the way. Let's just talk about it again. Hundo Lechonk. I love it. I love it so much. But then we got ourselves 2 Odysseys on Research Day. Research caught again a Hundo Houndour. You can see 2 in the span of about, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Awesome. Quick caught a Hundo Abra. I told you guys we finished the line. I do have to evolve one in the Kadabra though. But we got another Hundo Elgyem thanks to quick catching. Gotta love it. Got this from Research, and I actually ran away from this one and then came back to it. Quick caught a Ratatouille, another one with this Rattata. Then we got ourselves a Hundo Hisuian Growlithe, a Hundo Hisuian Voltorb from an egg. Then we got ourselves another Galarian Darumaka. You're going to see some craziness soon. But then we got our first ever XXL Hundo, and we got 2 of them with these. They were all in Research, the Pumpkaboos, and we absolutely spammed it for Hundos, for Hundo checks. And both of them being Hundos were both XXL, which was awesome. awesome. Then we got ourselves a Hundo Galarian Meowth from an egg. Timber Community gave us 2 hundos. This one actually was from the $1 research, which was awesome. Love it. Then we purified a Hundo Apom, got 2 Pickle Ricks, aka Smoliv, got ourselves a Vulpix Hundo, and then a few weeks later we got ourselves a costume Vulpix Hundo. Shout out to my fiance who caught that one and called it out. And then we also got 2 Phantoms from research, hatched a Hundo Munchlax. I have so many of those, as you guys have seen. Got ourselves a Bellsprout, which is pretty cool, a Sunkern, quick caught it. Got ourselves another Dino. This was on Wooper Comday, out of all days. Wooper Comday, love it. Got ourselves a Magby, an Elekid, a Dedenne, a purified Hundo Articuno. I had to do it. It's not too useful, so I had to do it. Got ourselves 2 Dapper Digletts Hundos. Love it. Actually, I think we got 3. Yeah, there's another one down here. That was a lucky trade. It was a random trade with my fiance. Not like lucky trade. It just went lucky. Then we got ourselves a Smoochum with the costume. Another Ghastly. Forgot to mention that. Love that. Got ourselves a Shinx, a Swablu, which we quick caught. Got this from an egg, which is just doing... I actually haven't evolved this in Overcross. Should definitely evolve the Hundo. What am I doing? Then we have a Hisuian Sneasel Hundo, which I love to see. And then we got ourselves a Hundo Galarian Stunfisk after so long. I tried for this Hundo so many times, used it in PvP here and there now. And we got ourselves a Galarian Ponyta, a Coughing, which we quick caught, a Goldeen, which we quick caught. Thanks to all those Dittos being around, I was quick catching all of them. And we got a couple hundos thanks to it, so that's awesome. Then we got ourselves a Gigalith, which was randomly from an egg on Recap Com Day. Got a Clodsire, which I love so much. I love Clodsire so much, so I'm happy to go ahead and get that. It was a Paldean Wooper, of course. Evolved it. Got 2 Hundo Weird Ears back to back on Ray Day. It was absolutely insane. Then we got ourselves 2 Shfeels in the span of a couple days, which was pretty awesome during the Christmas event this year. Got a Hundo Darmaka, and the next day got a Hundo Galarian Darmaka, and the next day got another Hundo Galarian Darmaka. It was absolutely insane. Got 3 Darmakas 3 days in a row, 2 of them being Galarian. Then we started the year, and these are our Hundos so far in 2024. We got not 1, but 2 Costume Hoo-Hoots. One of them is evolved. Got a Tepig from Research. Got a Shadow Hundo. Yes, Shadow Hundo Excadrill. Absolutely hyped with this one. My only Shadow Hundo in my collection. And then we got ourselves a Pancham, a Bob, aka Scraggy. Shout out to Bob's Burgers for telling me to quick catch Scraggies. Got me that Hundo. Got ourselves a Alolan Raichu randomly from a Times Research and a Hundo Machop, which I was very happy about. But now it's time to go to the Nundos. And you can see right here, we got a decent amount of them. We got 15. My first ever Nundo was the day after my birthday. And we actually got a Hundo and a Nundo on the same day, I just realized. But it was Goomy. Love Goomy so much. So I was happy to go ahead and get this Nundo. And we'll prove it with you guys. And my first ever Shadow Nundo came about 7 months later with a Shadow Weedle, which was absolutely amazing. Gotta love it. And then my debut, the debut of Fomantis, I got a Pokédex Nundo. This was pretty insane to go ahead and get a Pokédex Nundo. Fomantis was very happy about this one. Then we move on to this, was on Spotlight Hour. Got ourselves a Nundo Shelder. Then we got a Nundo Shiny, my first ever Nundo Shiny, and still my only one, with a Nundo Fennekin on Com Day that was shiny. And got another Nundo Fennekin that day, which was crazy. The Nundos were out. Then we got ourselves an XXL No Duo. Yeah, it was an XXL Nundo, which was awesome, which is pretty cool. And not my only XXL Nundo. We'll talk about that in a second. But I got a Nundo Wailmer. Love it. I love Wailmer. It's memes. I think this was on a Spotlight Hour as well. Then we got ourselves a Nundo Oddish, which was pretty cool. A Nundo Seedot. And then a Nundo Nimble on its debut, which was pretty cool. And then a Nundo Wooper on Com Day. I love Wooper. So to get a Nundo of it, I was very happy. Just wish it was shiny. Then we got this, an XXL Nundo Gothito, which is pretty cool. I mean, look, getting XXL Nundos is always cool. And then my most recent Nundo, I think is, second most recent Nundo, Ponyta. Caught this in December, and then finally we got a Nundo. Shout out to my boy Reese who called this one out for me, and we got a Nundo Alolan Vulpix during the Christmas holidays event, the day after Christmas, a late Christmas gift from Pokemon Go, but was very happy to go ahead and get that. And so we have 15 Nundos and 244 Hundos. We'll see what we can add to that this year, hopefully during major events. Some people call them out, and we could try to catch them as well, because that'd be pretty cool moments. But hopefully we could just get a ton for you guys, maybe some legendary Hundos. Let me know in the comments down below, how many Hundos do you have? How many Nundos do you have? And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to check out the merch, the link is in the description. If you want to become a member, link is also in the description. But I want to say thank you guys so much for 16.9K. We're so close to 17K. So hit that subscribe button to help us hit it. We're going to be live later for a stream if you guys want to come say what's up. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.